Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. So we're doing our first Sunday retake video, technique retake I should say, for the new year. And this is actually the sketch that I had wanted to use. It was going to be the video for Christmas Eve, but I wound up getting the flu. So we're going to go ahead and do it today. I have my pictures and pretty much all the pieces cut out. Now on our technique video that I did before, we used the We Are Memories Keepers, the this frame punch right here. So we're going to do that right now. So to keep our layout from being overly heavy or just so the save paper, I'm going to cut around all four sides, creating like little tab punches. And what it's doing is it's creating a 1/2 inch border all around, you know, basically the cardstock, creating a 1/2 inch frame. And I don't know why I moved that. Don't ask. So once I get it lined up, I have to get the piece into the section for the blade, and all you're doing is going from opening to opening. You don't want to cut too far because you don't want to cut into your frame. So I try and take my time and make sure that I'm cutting in all the right spots, and then the photo will go over top of that. So for those people who, you know, feel like it's a waste to put a full picture on top of a mat, you can create a frame. Make sure that the thickness of the frame is big enough to give you the border that you want for your card, basically. Alright, so now we're going to do some embossing. I love embossing when it comes to layouts. I don't know why, it seems like I do it on every one. On this cardstock that I'm using, I put down some of the powder because the Nouveau gold that I'm using, it has a lot of glitter in it, and I'm trying to save as much as I can because I'm literally at the bottom of this container. So I used the powder so that I can make sure I didn't leave any of that embossing powder behind, because I know right now it looks weird because I'm stamping directly to the paper. So it wasn't that I was trying to save the paper, I really was trying to get all the embossing powder I could. So I'm just putting straight to my circles and stars here, the Versamark ink, so that way we can emboss this. And this piece I actually cut out using my Silhouette, and I got I guess it would be like an SVG file, or, you know, the file for the Silhouette from an Etsy shop. So it was fun because I've been wanting like chipboard and stuff like that looking, you know, in this shape, and I don't have anything like that. So it was fun to pull out the Silhouette, find, you know, a really inexpensive cut file, and, you know, I was able to get exactly what I wanted for this particular project. So right now I'm just going around putting the embossing powder. We're using the super fine detail from Ranger. We're using the gold. And once I get all the embossing powder on, I start with the queen. I just got to heat up the heating tool. And on the thicker chipboard pieces, I've been holding them lately like on their sides. I do 1/2 of it, and then I'll turn it around and then heat up the last little bit. And this one, since it was on this paper, I did want to show you guys, you know, I figured this was the easiest way to show you how it heats up. And then as I continue to go, I just lifted it up so I can make sure I didn't miss any spots. That's a good way to make sure you haven't missed anything, is if you like kind of hold it up and tilt it, you can see where items have not melted. And then you just hit it, you know, hit it with your heat tool again. And then there was a small little piece that I had to snip off that didn't, I didn't separate correctly when I was separating my cut file. So I fixed that real quick. And these are our gold pieces. So now I'm going to trim the top of our paper here to make it so that it's 12 by 12. And then we're going to set all of our other pieces aside, and we're going to get this put together. I'm going to do my typical, which is taking my score tape and going around all 4 sides. And I like to do that because with the score tape, I can line it up very close to the edge. So I know that my edges won't pull up. And then I always put tape in the middle. And then I take my art glitter glue. Once I get all the backings peeled off, I'm going to take the art glitter glue and lay down glue in between. And if you have Tombow mono adhesive, you can use that. If you have the Nuvo, what is this one? The Deluxe adhesive, you can use any of those, you know, whatever. Ooh, excuse me. Whatever you have in your stash, you know what I mean? It's just important that whatever glue you're using is a strong glue and you know it's going to stick. Because the worst part is seeing a project start to pull apart after, you know, a little bit of time. So right now with the art glitter glue, I'm just putting a lot of it on the stars, and then I'm going to follow my circle lines as best I can, putting down as much glue, you know, just the thin nozzle, the precision nozzle that's on top of this. It really does help get into those fine places. And what I do is once I lay it down, any place where it looks like maybe I didn't put enough glue or I didn't put any glue at all, I just lift it up and I squeeze some glue underneath, which you can see me doing right there. And then always make sure that with the art glitter glue, when you're done, that you put your pen back in, because it will get clogged up where it, you know, the glue won't come out. So on the tree here that I created, I'm just going to add ATG as close to the edges as possible, and then once again with the art glitter glue in the center. And whenever I'm doing my videos, I always have the sketch up on my computer because, you know, it's important to keep it in mind as I'm going. I don't want to, I like to have it in pretty close to how it's looking on the, you know, on the sketch itself. So I always make sure to have it up so I can see it. Alright, and then we're going to attach our banner piece. Again, adding some of the art glitter glue. And then once that's all added, I just wanted to make sure the queen was going to pop off, which it is. I'm going to set that aside and attach our photos to the frame. And then I'm showing you up close. You can see the little cat inside the tree. This was my friend's cat, and oh my god, when I saw this photo, I was like, send it to me. I have to have it. I think it's so adorable the way she's looking like she's peeking through. So I'm just rubbing on the back side so I can minimize the fingerprints on the front. And one of these, which is the one I'm doing right here, I am going to add the foam tape just to give it a little added dimension. Alright, and then we're going to get this attached. And then I almost laid it down too far. Excuse me. So I had to grab it with my pickup tool and move it up because I realized I wanted this one up higher and the other one down a little bit lower. And I'm just using my micro cloth to press it down so that way it attaches. And I also use it to take the backing off of the foam tape. If you have trouble with that, I always find that that tool does help. And then once I line it up, I attach the second photo, grab some more art glitter glue on the back of our title, which I'm using just the word Queen. And I'm just pressing it here, making sure that the art glitter glue, you know, adheres. And I thought about using some splatter here or, you know, doing some other techniques, but I just decided to leave it plain and simple so you guys can just see, you know, a very easy and, you know, subtle layout. Okay, and we got to use the We Are Memory Keepers frame punch. So just because, you know, you get these punches for certain projects or certain things, just keep in mind there are opportunities where you can use it in other ways or on other projects. So thank you guys so much for joining me today and for being so patient as I get better. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. At the very end, I'm going to have a link to the technique video that we did before this. And I'm also going to have a link to a previous retake video. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great day.